Nick speaking, and welcome to my Soulless Necrons terrain video. First of all, I'd like to talk a little bit about why I chose Necrons. Well, I got into this game via a friend of mine, and I had no idea which army to choose. I went into the Games Workshop store, and I saw this picture, and I just loved this picture so much, and this is the only reason why I chose Necrons. I had no idea what they were about, what they did, how they worked, but I love that picture, and that is why I do Necrons. So first of all, I'd like to have a quick chat about my board. My board, which is made in two parts. I'll show you a little bit about that in a second. And made of plywood. I think it's about 1.5 centimetres thick. And on the top I've got the proper Games Workshop sand with the big bits of stones in, and I PVA glued that on there, quite difficult to do, and I painted it black, and then all I did was dry brush the whole area with Codex Grey, and that's my board. And now I'm going to show you my board, how I put it together. And this is my board. I've got two halves, and I made these struts here, they've got two little hooks on, so the board slides up to it, and then the strap goes underneath, the other board goes on, so it just holds it into place. And there you go, both sides on, and obviously the join in the middle, looks good to me. And believe it or not, we've got the sun coming in here, and although it is December, no sunny day today. So, my terrain. Back of the Codex, Necron Tomb World terrain chart. This is what I used. Now the first one is a sandstorm, which basically means at the beginning of each player's turn, if you throw a 6, you have to move as rough terrain, and also if you shoot over 12 inches you can only hit on a 6. It's very nasty, and the first time I used this, my opponent's got a 6 3 turns in a row, and he wasn't very happy, and I've never used it since. Next terrain is the Abyss. Now, the Abyss, it says roughly 6 by 12 inches, with a single walkway, and vehicles can't cross it, and any unit is basically, any model is lost on a 1 if you're going across the bridge. So this is my Abyss. I try to make it so that if you actually go across the bridge you can stand. So I've got rocks and rubble this side, you can actually place your model on the top. I had to use a 2 crystal bridge to so that if you had like a big tomb spider or something on there, it would actually go across. And because obviously I've got the crystal blown over here, it's still broken off here and across the bridge, so I went for crystals on this side and rocks on the other side. So that's it. Quite a few models have been lost on 1s in the Abyss. And just coming up, a couple of still pictures of the progression of how I built this Abyss. So next is the Mesa, which is basically a 12 by 12 area, like a plateau of rock, a bit of a hill, so I came up with my own design for that. And there it is. So I've got sort of quite a big high rough terrain corner section coming around, and then just a sort of basic hilly bit here going over. It's quite useful piece of terrain, depending on which way you place it, you can create quite good terrain on the board. So that's my Mesa. So next is Rocky Ground, which is a 12 by 12 area of loose rocks and boulders. And there's my loose rocks and boulder rocky terrain. It's a bit square for me, for what I actually like, but I did try to make it not, a bit curvy here and stuff, but it still looks probably a bit square, but it does the job. A bit of rough terrain basically. Next is the ruined tomb structure. an area roughly 6 by 6 inches, semi-ruined walls. So there you go. Got sort of one high area, which obviously if you're around this way you can sort of really hide behind it, and then also just a big area of rough terrain basically. The model standing there quite nicely. And next is just a tomb entrance, which is basically the same as a ruined tomb, but it's obviously not ruined. There you go. And I basically used the footing is exactly the same size as that one, so it's one of those basically. Quite useful. The sections on here, the silver piece, is made of cardboard and then cut out and put on, painted obviously. All the terrain here is painted with black undercoat and then dark angel's green, snot green, and highlighted with scorpion green. So that's the tomb entrance. Let's have a quick look at the back of that one actually. There you go. And that sort of matches the back of that one. And I think I better finish up here, and I'm going to have to do a part 2 of this because I've too much terrain. If you like this, maybe intrigued to see the rest of my terrain, then keep watching and look out for part 2, my Soulless Necron terrain, part 2.